student is that we learn to speak French even if our parents don't, which can be kind of a fun superpower. The kids can, I don't know, sure, lord over their parents, just to even the playing field. So we've invited some of our students to teach their parents a little French tonight. Let's welcome our first family and show us what they've learned.
So this is what I'm going to say. Je veux t'acheter un cheval pour ton anniversaire. Do you know what it means, Mom and Dad? Mom and Dad?
Oh, what a trickster. You'll have to be careful from now on. Okay, family number 2, the blank family. We know this will be a straightforward lesson.
Tu ne dois pas aller à l'école demain et tu peux rester au lit toute la journée. Can you guess what that is, Mom?
Sounds like high expectations to live up to. All right, let's check in and see what our last family is going to learn.
Hey Mom, try this out. Tu peux manger de la glace pour le petit déjeuner tous les jours.
Our kids are just too smart for their own good. Parents, you better study up. Back to Maylene and the rest of the live auction.
Great. So now we're going to finish up our live auction. I've written out this whole script and I say something awesome. Lots 4 and 5. I think there's just 5, potentially just 4 total. And then we say, well, that's a wrap on our auction. Thank you so much to everyone who participated, and thank you to our amazing donors. Let's take another short break before our Fund for the Future and check in with some of our EB colleagues to learn more about them.
One truth and one lie. The first house I ever lived in when I was an infant and a toddler was a tree house. I loved swimming. In college, I even competed.
This is my truth and this is my lie. I was born in New York and I rode an elephant before.
Hello, today I'm going to tell you one truth and one lie. So I did face painting gig for Steph Curry's daughter. And I've lived in Jamaica, Hawaii, and Manhattan.
So if it freezes up like this, should I just read?
Yeah, I think so. I think Eli's connection isn't amazing.
Okay, I think I was having technical difficulties. So many truths, so many lies. Stay tuned, we'll find out which is which. But now it is time for our Fund for the Future. Every year, as many of you know, the Fund for the Future represents a special fund dedicated to a particular project or cause. This year's fund is dedicated to EB's teachers, and we're calling it the Teacher's Choice Fund. I remember when I was a student at EB, and I will think of a personal story that describes a great project, outing, and an impact. And it is our fervent desire that with your support today, those sorts of opportunities and the freedom for teachers to make the most out of their time with their students will continue to be possible.
Is it my...
Here's a list. Here's some ideas, right? And there needs to be like, here are a few ideas about how a Teacher's Choice Fund might support life at EB.
Yeah, there's a video that'll be going in there that we don't have yet. So video plays, then back to Chris, basically.
Okay. Thank you all to all of the teachers who shared their inspiring ideas with us. We are so honored to have dedicated and creative teachers like the ones we have at EB. Merci beaucoup. Now let's make, and then it says MHB explains the rules. Okay, now let's make. What am I supposed to say there? Maylene, do you know?
Yeah, sorry, we're obviously missing some text right there. Again, the idea is either, I think actually you guys can probably do this part, and I don't need to come back in for here. It was basically just going to explain how the Fund for the Future is going to work. And so essentially there's going to be different levels, and our idea was to have a super short vid, like 5-10 seconds at each level, of a kid holding up the sign of being like, this is the $5,000 level of the Fund for the Future. Thank you. But then we need to run, and Gary or Jevin, this is a similar question to the auction. How are we going to run the Fund for the Future if we do it level by level and like wait for those to come in? Versus like it's just open and here are the kids showing the different levels and we sort of let people donate. I did have a question. Is it possible to see show on the screen when those come in, or are we just going to have to read them from the back end of Octria?
We can show like the live donations as they come in, how much and the name, or you can read them. I'm just in the middle of typing you up an email that's describing the options as we're going through this. So,
okay.
A few.
So
yeah, that's what I'm trying to just process.
So
them all
with the funding, and again, it's a kind of like if you've got somebody, not necessarily a professional auctioneer or whatever, but if you've got somebody who's going to take on that kind of thing, that they can go through it level by level. And say 10,000 gets you this, and you can call
Gary,
people's names.
the people are in this call who will do that. So there's no other people.
This is who we have.
So this is who we have working.
This is your options.
Exactly. So it'll be, you know, one of us if we do it that way.
Cool. Well, that's entirely then. In that case, then it would be just going through the levels and maybe shouting people out as they donate at it, like 10,000. Oh, Jevin has thank you so much. You've donated 10,000. Amazing. Thank you so much indeed. Moving on now to the 5,000 level. $5,000 will get us like a new prefab, or you know.
I don't know if that's how I feel like your vibe, but I'm
so.
going to write it out. We'll talk about it.
Okay. Sorry, that's a big TBD piece.
Yeah.
For us, guys.
But there's options.
Okay.
There's options, and they're not. We'll manage so much of that. It's just a matter of which one fits your style.
Yeah.
Right. And then I guess the idea after is we will know if it's all being done through Octra, we should know essentially as soon as it's over how much has been donated for that particular piece, right?
Yes.
So
yep.
We'd announce that. Thank you so much. You're amazing. You know, you've contributed, blah, 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 blah. We're so lucky to have folks like you to ensure that EB remains strong no matter which challenges we're facing. And then we go back, or that's in theory one of the hosts saying that, and then we go back to finish the one truth and one lie reveal.
Cool. So now so then go back to, so I'll get rid of me and Jevin.
Okay. Now, who wants to know which was the truth and which was the lie from the teachers? Let's find out.
So, the lie is that I actually didn't do one trip across the United States, but I did do 3 bike trips across 10 states, but at 3 different times.
The truth is, I've played live at the Apollo Theater.
The truth is, I was born on a military base.
So the truth is, I actually lived in a tree house when I was a baby, and I do love to swim, but I never competed.
And the truth is, I was born in Brooklyn, New York.
The lie is doing the birthday party for Steph Curry. I wish.
Huh. Is it? And thank you, Mehdi. Doesn't Mehdi speak at this time?
He does indeed, and there he is.
Okay. So, am I freestyling?
Yeah, so we didn't write this part out yet either. But essentially, we could have the host actually come back after the video and say something, and then, but really then this point is Mehdi, the piece we haven't written, where you come on and you say, man, this has been so great to, learn about our community and to share, and you've been incredible. We've raised a total of blah 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 blah. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here, and I'll write you something. And then there's a special thing after, so we can pretend you just said a really nice.
Can I just say that?
Thank you. Yeah. And then it goes back to the hosts.
Okay.
All right. Shall I begin?
Yeah, just start at the end. Thank you, Mehdi.
And thank you, Mehdi, for being a guiding force these last 4 years. You've had a big impact on EB, and we know that you will leave behind many fond memories. As a way to say thank you, we've cooked up a little something from our hearts to yours. Hit it!
It's just been hit.
Wow, that was incredible. Oh, thank you so much to all our community members for coming together and working on this send-off.
Eli's frozen again, so that's going to need to be sorted out.
All right. Should I wait a moment before I start?
No, I think if he pauses like that, he's not coming back quickly. So
okay. All right. So let's not forget our drawing for our teacher winner of the week-long stay in Stinson. Okay, there you are. I was going to do your line. Go ahead.
Oh, you didn't hear mine. I spoke into the digital void. Lastly, let's not forget our teacher winner of the week-long stay in Stinson. Christopher, you ready?
I'm ready. I've got the hat with the names here. I'm closing my eyes so you know there's no cheating happening here. Here we go. And the winner is so-and-so. Congratulations. Huge thank you to parent Natasha Bossier for this generous gift. And thank you all for your presence and participation tonight. We hope you had fun and got to learn some fun new things about some of our teachers. For anyone who wants to keep this party going, please join us for a Zoom dance party with DJ Ikut, I'm assuming. You can find the link in the chat. See you there. Thanks to Eli also for co-hosting with me this evening.
Thank you, Chris. It's been a pleasure, and thank you everyone for having me. It's been a blast.
Right on.
Enjoy the rest of your night.
So clearly we have a lot of things to work on. Jevin and Gary and Divya, do you guys want to come back on?
It's going to be great.
Great.
It was very rough. Very rough. You know, it's okay.
It's a 50% dry run. We're very intentional with how we name this.
So we'll have some pieces to work on. I also invite you guys, hosts, to like add in things to the script that you want. Eli, you're really good at improvising and adding your pieces, so feel free to like edit that however you want so it feels like your voice and natural. And again, you know, we'll run through it again, and so you'll know which pieces to go through. We're especially going to sort out the thing with the auction and the fund for the future, because that'll be kind of a big piece. I know we didn't exactly go through it. Is that something that you guys feel like you would want to do, or you feels like it's better if one of us does that piece? Just
whatever you think.
The auction right now.
Right. I think maybe Jevin will. It'll depend on, I guess, which sort of what avenue we choose for like how that can roll out, and then we can at the next time we can kind of decide what makes the most sense.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
There's a number of options there anyway. So.
Yeah. I'm hopefully going to make it really clear when I'm sending this email, but
okay. It is hard also even for us to, you know, because most of us know how a typical auction works, and it's not going to be like that. Obviously, people, you know, so I haven't done one. I haven't even seen one. I don't know, Divya, if you've done any with live auction portions and have any like suggestions on, you know, the best way to go about it. The only version that I saw didn't actually have anyone live bidding. They just like sent everyone to, they were just like, go here to donate and visit. And so they just like sent everyone to another link. So it wasn't happening during the event itself.
So I've got examples for the different styles.
Okay.
See.
I love it. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I think you'll see. I think when you look at them, it'll just be. I'm hoping it'll just be more obvious to you. Be like, oh, this is more our style. This one's not our style. I'm hoping, and then that'll make the decision easy. And then we'll come around to you, and we'll figure out how to make that happen.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Divya, were you going to say something?
I was just going to say that probably the same as what Jevon's going to send you is what I've done. So basically with him over the last year. So
okay,
the same platform. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll work on those pieces. I don't want to keep you, Mehdi. I know it has a lot of things, and Chris and Eli, I'm sure you guys have other places to be also. But did you guys have any questions? You know, obviously this was very rough, and so a lot of things to run through. But
yeah, look, I just say like for a first one, it's absolutely fine. Like we've seen rougher, put it that way. But I'm very concerned about Eli's connection. I have to say that it's really poor.
I will make sure to be at a more stable internet connection for our next meeting. It works. I'm at the house. It works fine for Zoom, but I guess StreamYard is more than my little hotspot can handle.
Ideally, you want to have it Ethernet connected. Yeah. But that said, Gary's going to be doing testing with all your speakers for your video, audio, lighting, and internet. So he'll consult with each of you for that, and he'll book those in.
So are you're hotspotting literally off your phone at the moment, are you?
It is I'm in a kind of a rural place, and it is the only internet I have at my house. But I can go into town. I have a place in town where I can have a broadband connection.
Where are you, Eli?
I'm in Grass Valley, outside of Grass Valley.
All right. Nice. Do we dress up for this occasion? I'm assuming I should wear a tux.
Yes, we should dress up. We're sending one of the party favors we're sending to everyone are these little like gold crowns. So we'll send some to you also if you want. I'll wear them, but we encourage people to dress up if they want. I mean, you only have to dress up from like the top, third of yourself. So you can do whatever you want on the bottom. But yeah, sure.
Be careful because people have gotten into trouble. Yeah.
For like standing up and then being like, oh, no, that would be great. Yeah.
We'll go through individually. We'll go through just little setups beforehand. Anyway, make sure the lighting is okay, make sure the audio is okay, and you can do it as a dress rehearsal kind of as well. Make sure everything's
Sorry, I can't. Someone's typing and I can't hear you very well.
It's so loud.
It's not his first time either.
But Gary, your volume is a bit low as well.
Yeah.
That any better?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I have a couple more questions, but it's sort of technical side. So we just want to say thanks again to Mehdi and Eli and Christopher. It's been about an hour. So if the three of you don't have any questions for us before the next run, then we can let you go.
I just want to add something that I'm going to send you a doodle. We have to do 2 more dry runs if possible. I know all of you are really busy. Eli, I know you're not going to be around between the 19th and the 29th. But if you can just let me know your availabilities, that would be fantastic. So we can just schedule them. The more practice, the better. So that's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Good to see you. Bye.
Gary, can we stay here with us? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Okay, well that's good because we can tell where we have a lot of things to fix and work on, which is fine.
That's the idea.
We did have a couple questions. What exactly do you need from everybody who's going to be like zoomed in? I don't know what the term is. StreamYarded in, from the families, guys, for example.
Other than you guys, there's going to be just 3 other people then, yeah. So the 3 kids' families,
yes,
or parents or whatever. So just really for the last dry run, it would be great if we were able to get them on. They don't have to stay for the whole hour and a half, anything like that. But if we can get them on, to make sure that they know their cue, that their connection is okay, and that they just basically know what they have to do.
So like you just need their emails or like the parent email to get them in, or you like?
Yeah, Divya will send out the link for all the dry runs, as was but Divya will be looking after it now, kind of for all the dry runs from now on. So if you give us the contact details for whoever it is that's going to be involved, we'll just send them out the exact same link that we send you guys. And if they can log in, then if they, let me think about this. It might actually be worth getting them in for the next dry run. And then if there's any problems, we still have a little bit of time where we can do stuff kind of individually with them to get them connected. So for the next dry run, we should have a much better idea, like with the script, there'd be more videos and whatever in place. So if we can get them in for that one, whenever it's going to be, it might be better.
Okay. So question about the game. It's kind of changed forms a few times, which is fine. Originally, we were going to have the parents like, we're like learning French, so we're going to like repeat the phrase. I'm not sure if we're doing that anymore. All the kids are like, do you know what that means? So is it just like they're guessing what it means now instead? I just have to rewrite the script a bit.
I think guessing makes more sense because of what the kids were saying.
Right.
But I also had a question, like, are they guessing it So are they not seeing the videos in the dry runs and stuff, so they actually guess it, or do they know what it means?
That's actually a very good point. Yeah.
The idea was that, so I think originally we were like, oh, it's like they're going to teach them something to say. So they're going to say, Mom, I'm going to, but I don't think
it's too fast. I didn't get it. So.
It didn't end up working out like this. I think in the filming, probably it was too complicated. I think originally we were going to say, Mom, I'm going to teach you to say, you have to eat vegetables for dinner every night in order to be strong. And then instead, in French, they say, like, you can have cake for dinner every night. And so they're repeating that, and the kids are like, do you know what you just said? Like, and everyone who speaks French knows that they just told them they could have cake instead of eating the vegetables. It doesn't really play like that anymore. So we could either try and do it again with the kids, which might be tricky, or we can change it so it's like, it's a guessing game, and we give them like 3 English phrases, and they're gonna, like, they have to guess which one the kid is saying or something. I don't know.
I can go back if you guys really like that original idea. I can go back and film the kids doing those things. It's not that difficult. But yeah, what do you guys think?
I think you could easily just have it where the hosts just reveal the answer, or like, ask the parent, like, hey, what do you think? And then the answer is, no, the kids are having cake for dinner. And I'm like, shoot. It doesn't have to be the kid that's actually doing the reveal.
Right. But I just mean, what are the parents doing in this scenario?
I think they could tell. They could try to guess what it is.
Yeah, so it's like, guess what I'm saying, Mom.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, these parents, we picked specifically parents who don't speak French. So
yeah, it'll be friggin' hilarious.
So they'll just be like, I don't know. And so maybe it will be good to have them test so they can, like, not just be like, I don't know. Like, they're going to say, and they say something, and then maybe as you're saying, we write in the hosts are actually the ones that do the reveal, or the kids are in theory with them live. I don't know. And they're just like, no, you're wrong. You said I could have a horse for my birthday.
Yeah, the parent would probably come up with the hosts, and the host's audio at least would be there, and that they can sort of say what they think it was. So that's why it mightn't even work in the dry run to show them the video. As I think Divya was kind of saying there, that like if you showed them the video ahead of time, it kind of takes the surprise away from them a little bit. But you still need them to obviously be prepped in some way for it. Right.
Okay. So my other question is it's obviously hard because we don't have all the clips right now, but does it make, obviously we need to build out the script for the phone. And I'm thinking maybe I should just put it all on one page so they don't have to go back and forth. When we were just creating them, that's how it came out, but we can put them all together. But for the phone call with Mehdi, do we want to like put in the clips like while they're talking like that, or does it make more sense to do it a different way?
It came across kind of badly today because it was the first time people were reading it, and it was just being read out. But I actually think if there's a bit of practice to it, it would flow quite well. Okay. And like especially if Mehdi was just reading it as such, and he tried to put a little bit of personality into it, but it's tough when you see it for the first time. Like
right.
So if he did,
FYI, Mehdi's a reader. Like
right, so
Chris and Eli are will be a lot more like sort of spontaneous, and I can suggest he tries to learn it a little bit more, but I'm just telling you that's how he is.
But even still, like anything will be better than the first go, like
right.
So it'll be a bit of kind of isn't it amazing the way that people volunteer and then go straight into the code thing and the drinks thing once the video is there. That'll hit home a bit better as well.
Okay.
So I think having it, because it's a little bit of a funny thing to sort of show a slightly
the
reaction to it.
Cute, I thought. Was like
it was
cute, right?
Yeah.
Like to parent.
I'd nearly start that section though with the girl who gets all the coats thrown on top of her.
So flip it and do hers first.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, it's amazing how the volunteers, how how people can just so easily volunteer, and then she gets covered in coats.
Okay. So let's I'll work on this script some more. Also, I realized like after you show a video, you have to like reference it. It's weird if you just like go on to the next thing and don't say anything about what everybody just saw.
What everyone just saw, yeah.
So, that's why we do a dry run. So I guess the big question, but aside from that, is the auction and the fund for the future piece. So, yeah. So Gary, in theory, we have an auction, like in our regular events, we always have a live auctioneer, and that's their job. As I mentioned at one point, our budget, it was small this year, and so we preferred to spend it on production than an auctioneer. So I don't like particularly want to do that. I would be a lot better than I was here if I was, but I think that maybe if we give enough, what do you think, do you think that Christopher or Eli can do those pieces if we give them enough, like?
I think
seeing Chris for the few minutes there, I think he'd actually be really good at it.
Yeah, he has good energy.
He has good energy.
Yeah.
And the parents love him.
Helps.
So, which really helps, I think.
I know Devin just sent us auction options too. Like some of them we've seen, so maybe it'll inspire us more. But I think
oh no. Sorry, can you just give me 1 second?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think it can work. The key thing is if the donations aren't coming in, and them just managing that. We had one. Oh, it pains me to think about it, and I think Gary it'll bring back a nervous tick that he developed from this event. But they weren't professional auctioneers; they're from their community. And it was just really painful because they weren't getting the donations in, and they're like, "Okay, guys, where are those donations?" And it was just really bad. So that's just now our biggest fear is that for non-professional auctioneers is managing the stuff. And I didn't send that to you. I can, but I don't want to make you stressed. That's just worst case scenario.
That's my worst nightmare is when nobody is donating and there's the awkwardness. And you're right, a real auctioneer, they deal with that stuff all the time and they just roll with it. And, and if it doesn't work, then they move on. And someone who's not an auctioneer doesn't necessarily know.
But you can script it and give them content.
I was also going to say, if you're getting any pre-donations or something that you already know that this person is donating, at least the big amounts, then we could announce those in when they're doing the 10,000s or whatever the higher numbers are. You can say, okay, and now this has come, so it looks like someone who's donated for it.
Right. I mean, and we try to secure some of those ahead of time for the fund for the future specifically, so we're not fishing. I don't know if we'll get a 10. Usually 5 is where the last year or so is where we started. This year, I'm trying to think of who will be there. We have folks who don't always like to show, so it would be anonymous, which is fine. Which they would have to know that, which I don't know that they know, the people who are donating as well as us, but
we can just if it's you're talking about planted people who want to donate anonymously.
I'm just saying that some people who we know of in advance or who are there then, who tend to give the bigger amounts, most of them want to be anonymous.
What we could do is we change their name in Octria to be, Jevin Malte, and then anonymous is the last name. And then when we plant them in the whether they donate live themselves or we plant it at that giving level, it'll say Jevin Malte Anonymous, and we can just say, if you see that in the name, just don't read their name.
Right.
So you could do a little bit of a hack to mitigate that if you know in advance those people don't want to be anonymous.
Okay. Yeah, sorry I missed a little bit. When for the paddle race, the Fun for the Future piece, were the ones that you were typically doing, were they just, I remember when we watched the urban one, they just like showed each category and then they were like, so I'm wondering
go here and donate. Yeah.
Is that another option? We just like show each category, but then we, people can be donating as we're showing them, and and we just give our totals, or we call out people as they come, but we don't like wait and do each level, or is that not?
You can do a kind of a mixture of both. Like if there's anything that you think is worth highlighting, highlight someone who comes in. Like,
sorry to interrupt. Sorry, just you do have a meeting on the calendar for the development cohort.
Yeah, I'm not going to that one today.
I just wanted to make sure.
Okay, thanks.
Life Learning Academy is an alternative too. What they did was they just Gary, how did they do it? I think they talked about the levels, and then they had 3 different segments where they just thanked the names. Hey, thanks Jev, thanks Gary, thanks Divya, and then
it was just names were kind of handed to them as they came in, and they just did it that way instead of doing a kind of a official level. So everyone, they're kind of looking at going, oh, I see that Jevin's after going in at 5,000.
I mean, to be honest, I sort of like that a little bit more. I mean, typically we do level by level. The what you just said, the ladder.
Yeah, where they just read out the names, and it's just a bit softer.
It's just a bit more casual. Yeah.
I mean, the reason we do level by level is typically because we're like physically in the room and people are like raising their paddles at that level. And the top levels are always, it's way smaller. It's one person, maybe 2 people, right? It's not like it's not a bunch of people. You get down to the 100 level and you got a lot more paddles. Yeah. But I don't know, Gail, what do you think? I just think part of, we have a really sort of cheap level ticket, and we're trying to like invite a lot of people and make it more inclusive. And I think, we can share the levels. Also, it would be great. We haven't quite figured out how with this specific Fund for the Future to qualify each level. But anyway, this 5,000 level, and the kid's like, this is the $1,000 level that lets us do this. And then just like before that, I guess we say it's open. We're going to go through the levels. Like, we might need to explain that, and they can donate at any time. Yeah. And then we call the names out, or.
I might be misreading this, but I do sense a bit of stress around this whole thing. What I recommend, So we've got lots of time to figure it out, so don't worry about that. And whatever way you choose, we will execute on that. So that's okay. You already have the videos, or that's coming. That's great. Second thing, just watch those videos that I sent. I think it'll be obvious to you.
It'll definitely help.
We can't make too many opinions about it because it's your voice, but I think you'll watch it, and knowing you guys how you're just opinionated, like you know what resonates. Watch them, and then you'll say that's what we want, and then we'll do it.
Don't stress too much about it. Whichever way you want to go, we'll be able to make it work.
Yeah, but I think watching those videos will help a lot. I know you've watched them before, but now look specifically for how they did their auction and their paddle race, and they're a little bit different, and then I think it'll be obvious to you. And if you want more examples, then don't hesitate to email us, and we'll dig some up from our events.
Okay. Okay. Well, I think. Okay, so that'll be helpful. We'll watch that. In theory, I think if we have enough sort of information and prep, I'm just gonna have to like make the script a lot more thorough, I think. But around the auction items, like Christopher and or Eli, like they can alternate or something. They can do those, and even potentially same with the Fund for the Future. So, I do have a question. So we're going to be, or whoever, this is the platform that we'll use, and then it'll be sort of live streamed via YouTube or whatever. And so will we be looking at it through here or through YouTube? And like if we want to, like if you want to put things in the chat or folks are chatting, that's will be on YouTube, obviously. So I'm just wondering how to.
As you're kind of part of the show, you'll need to be in here.
Okay.
Which means that you can't really have YouTube open at the same time because there'll be a little bit of a lag, so that'll kind of completely throw you off. So you need to be basically focused on this and this area here. Now, Gael, you could potentially then manage the sort of YouTube side of things by not being logged in here and go to there. And then as Jevon shows there, any kind of comments that come up through your YouTube channel, we can pull in as well as relevant, basically.
Okay. And I do notice, so maybe that'll be something that we have to test out before, because if you're reading something, you're not looking at yourself on the screen. So like, there are some times where I'm sure I was doing it, but like Eli was like, off, like someone's off center because they're whatever moving or looking, but they don't see themselves. So that's just like a practice, like stay in this spot while you read type of thing.
It's a kind of thing we can go through what I was saying about like doing a little bit of a run through on lighting and kind of set up beforehand as well. So that's a 15-20 minute kind of individual thing.
Okay.
And there's also like just getting the laptop up higher so you're not looking down on it. The camera is at eye level or higher. And when that happens, then you automatically are kind of looking up like that instead of, when you're bent over and your eyes are kind of going down. So like, for instance, instead of like that, if it's up here, I'm kind of reading now, like it just automatically, your eyes just look a little bit more. So that's something that'll just come kind of naturally.
Okay. So Gael, you have the notes you need for the videos, I think. For the alum. Okay. So it sounds like for the alum videos, we might get rid of some of the intro stuff, and potentially swap order. And then for the teacher clips, was that?
No, the other way. Bring the middle up.
Well, I'll make I feel like the background music, because Divya thought it was a little loud. So maybe I'll make that a little lower too, but make sure to bring the speakers up.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That's kind of.
And I guess my other question is the, like all the text pieces, the intro, there's like an intro and commentary for like each. Well, I guess not for each one. I'd have to watch it again.
I thought that like the thing to help with the flow for like the alum coat stuff, there doesn't need to be really an introduction. I thought except to introduce maybe the alums themselves, but we don't need to like do any of that. But and then all the other kind of for the One Truth and Lie, get rid of every text except for the reveal where it's just like saying, oh, they said this. Maybe that there. I thought there were some cute little comments there.
No, the reveal is good. Yeah, that one's good, I think, to keep that information. Yeah, I guess I was saying the ones where maybe the first round we say like one truth, one lie. Can you guess which is which, right? But like we maybe don't need to put that in every single one. But if that's like the first time they're seeing it, because also I feel like there's a lot of stuff that the hosts say that then was repeated a little bit in the video, right? Like, cause like they're introducing or they're like. So it's just something for us to work on.
It's obviously, I don't know if there's a possibility of kind of recording them again, but you could even get the teachers themselves, instead of having it come up in text, you have the teacher themselves. So which one of these is a lie? Because it's already been introduced.
That's too hard. I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but we have like a lot more videos to make.
I loved it, guys. It's great. It's great. You're overthinking it.
Yeah.
It's really good. No, I think it was good. The little recap. Oh, they're into it and that's sweet or whatever it was. It's great. Great segments. They're my favorite part so far of the show.
Great.
Oh my God. Thanks for enthusiasm, Devin. Really.
Yeah. Just don't. You guys are extremely organized. you know what you want, and that's great. But like, I think it's great. It's like,
and you have so much content already, so usually
usually at this stage, like, you're struggling to kind of get anything together, so it's not, you've nothing to worry about.
Great.
We're not trying to we're not trying to just shoot you away. No, genuinely, it's great. It's really good. You guys are on a really good path. We'll figure out the auction. Guy else is barely breathing right now.
I feel good. I'm stressed about the auction because it's like the one place we have to raise money is the auction and the paddle race, and we usually always have an auctioneer, and so this is the first time since I've literally been at school that we won't have an auctioneer, and it was on purpose, and we knew, and that's okay. I just I think if we watch that, and maybe there's some ways that we can make it sort of with the paddle raise that we talked about, sort of less level by level, I think will be helpful. And the live lots, there's really not that many. I think we put in 5. We originally had 4, then we had 5. I think we're back down to 4, to be honest.
Still a lot.
Not that many.
Well, just timing wise, if you're gonna
15 lots normally.
if you do the normal paddle, the normal bidding, it's it's gonna be 3 minutes per segment.
That's why I guess my question is do we do the normal bidding is the question, I guess.
Or an online auction, maybe you mean. Yeah.
So we also have a silent auction.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The online silent auction. Yeah.
Online. Well, right. It's online now, of course. Right?
Look at. I think the closest will be Lighthouse Community. I was
about to say,
from Oakland, because they were they were co-hosts. I think one was a principal from the school, and very animated. So I think they've got a similar vibe from Eli and Chris.
Yeah, kind of bounce off each other.
And that was that was the paddle race top down, and they weren't professional, but they did a really phenomenal job. So I think that could be a nice parallel. And then Life Learner Academy will be the other one to look at, where it's a softer ask, and where they read out the names in the different segments. Okay. So, and then Urban School, I guess, was a really soft ask. Anyway, you'll see. Yeah.
Okay. How would they read the name? Would it be someone else reading the names, or would you feed the names in, or because that's on the back end of?
Yeah, we could feed the names in. Yep. Okay. Say who came in the past little bit.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Yeah. We'll be there to support. For sure.
Okay. So it looks like we just have some work to do on our side, and then we have our next.
Keep breathing.
Keep
breathing.
Exactly.
Our next dry run to schedule. Will be. Do we think, Gael, next week or the week after, maybe?
Oh, no one has responded to my doodle poll. That's why I was like, don't forget.
I responded. I don't know if you can adjust that doodle poll. There were 70 options that you had to click through, so it was a little bit intense.
I just think it's difficult with all these folks, and it, and I know Medi's super busy, and just so I can definitely do the dang doodle. I'll remove options. It was to actually schedule everything else. So, I can do it twice. It was just trying to help save time, more emails, more coordination.
Yeah, I'm just from user experience. We probably don't need every half hour to be on there, right? You could go by every.
Except I think about Medi. Those half hours do count. But
the other thing with Medi is just ask Olivia. I don't ask Medi to schedule his own things. You have to ask Olivia. She schedules his calendar.
No, I do.
Oh, okay. All right.
And you have mine and Divya's link to our availability as well, yeah?
Yeah, I think actually that was right before I knew that Trisha left. So actually I have to redo it anyway. So I will make it shorter, and hopefully we can get our 2 last dry runs scheduled in a timely fashion for everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
It'd be good.
Sounds good. Did we have more questions, Gael? Did you?
We'll have to just at some stage, not now, but closer to the time, we'll have to just work out the access for the YouTube channel.
Okay.
So I would let's start with, do you have a school YouTube channel or?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
You need to know the username stuff.
Yeah, I'll need to be made basically an admin of it.
Got it. I can do that.
So whoever, I don't know if you've got a communications director or anyone like
It's
that.
us.
Oh,
We're
it's
all those things.
You guys are basically everything then, yeah?
We're everything. We're events, fundraising, communications,
talent,
everything. We absorbed communications this fall. So
cool.
Yeah. So Gail has that. She can make you admin.
Perfect. So you can just use the gala's email address if you can set that up. But as I say, no rush. Potentially we could put the next dry run out through your channel if you wanted to kind of look and see what like the end viewers like. But then you could have it unlisted, but there is the danger that somebody might see it, I suppose.
Okay. All right. But there is capacity for people to chat and comment during the event.
For sure.
There. Okay. That's great. But they won't. And then, so the dance party thing is so as we sort of wrote in, it won't be like part of the program, but it'll be, inviting anyone who wants to stay on. We have a couple families who really like that. We have a parent that's a DJ. And so that'll probably be through Zoom, so we can just like link it there and be like, click on the link in the chat and
precisely, yeah. And you can bring up a very basic little sort of link underneath as well, underneath down here. So
we'll do it at the after party with the DJ.
Right.
Okay. So we'll have to just test their stuff out. How it's all going to be streamed in to
the DJ.
Yeah, we want to test it out with them in Zoom real quick because there's some key settings that they'd have to set.
Yeah, we've done a couple Zoom dance parties before.
Okay. Cool.
So
sweet.
But we can double check to make sure. But yeah. Okay. Well, I think for now that's great.
Till next time.
Till next time. All right. Thanks, guys.
Nah, thank you, guys. Well done. Doing well so far.
When do you think you'll have some more ideas for the auction stuff? I know it's top of mind for you right now.
I mean, I think probably this week.
Okay.
That the next couple weeks that's our main priority is this event and getting this out. So I think we'll watch. I have a meeting at 4 and a meeting at 5, so not today probably, but tomorrow, we'll go through and check out and see what makes sense.
Sure.
I just want to work on the script and sort of like beef it up and fix pieces. And as you see, Mehdi I have to write his thank you piece. So
he's basically exactly the way that I expected him.
Yeah, 100%.
Based on how I described it.
I really want to see the lip sync video now, honestly.
Oh yeah, of him doing it. Yeah, it's good.
Good.
That should be some good. That should be some good pre-roll stuff for people who haven't seen it.
Kyle, did you get any lip sync folks yet?
There's
not yet.
So there's a rough something in there.
Everyone I know today, just like please participate. So, but okay. I'll send you him singing the lip sync on his own. It's beautiful.
You'll see now that you've seen him in person, and then you'll see the lip sync, and you'll see why everybody was like, "What? Like, who is this?" And they were fascinated. So it'll be great.
We're Divya just today, actually, and Gary, it's news to you too probably, but we're just starting to look into see if there's like some software that might be easier to manage getting people to do lip sync and putting it all together somehow. We're not sure because it's actually EB, the other EB that EBI.
They're not the same. They just copy us. No, it's their founders are a former head and former parent of our school.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah, we know
anyways,
them now.
Divya's looking in some see if there's options to just streamline that whole thing. So
Okay.
we can let you know too.
Great. All right. Well, thanks so much.
Thanks, everyone.
We will see you soon.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Mine is see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, I want to make dinner now. Dude, so many meetings today. The heck?
Oh, shattered, man.
It's going to be so good when Divya is totally onboarded and then she can do all of them by herself.
Yeah, be amazing. Even I won't show up then.
Yeah. Fun.
Okay, I've got to make some green bean curry, yo. We'll see you
Today's
around.
been a long
Okay.
day. See you later.
Thank you. Bye.
Do it.